Hello lovelies, welcome to this in-depth animal pick a card reading where your animal companion is going to come through and to give you insight and messages about their purpose in your life, how they're helping you and how you can help them. So focus on the different images and choose the one that resonates with you the most. If you've got more than one animal in your life, think about that particular animal and then choose the reading, and then think about the other animal or animals and then choose the readings that resonate with you. It might be that different animals are in your life for the same purpose and you choose the same reading for more than one animal, and that's absolutely fine. Do whatever feels right for you. And before we get into the readings, I want to remind you that I am offering psychic mediumship readings with animals, and I'm still doing readings for people, and I'm also offering animal energy therapies and energy therapies for people. I will very soon be transferring from my website my services over to my Etsy shop, where I will be making a lot more products and services available very soon, but I'll let you know when that's happening. Okay, my lovelies, let's get on with the readings now. Hello, group one. So let's turn these over. We've got 13 affinities. You know what? That was on the bottom of the pile when I was shuffling all of the cards earlier. 13 and 14, look at that. We've got affinity and sleeping. Okay, just move those other cards up a bit more. So I'm going to get another, I'm going to get one of these and another one. We have got religion and spirituality. I'll get one of these. Number 4, fighting. Okay. So we've got 2 4 energies on the ends there. Now, with this affinity card, I get the sense that you might be the sort of person that prefers animals to people most of the time. There might be an odd one or two special people in your life, but I think most of the time you actually prefer the company of animals. And you know what? I can totally relate to that. So I feel that your animal companion is very dear to you. You've got a very, very deep bond. You have got like the sort of connection where you're picking up on them a lot. I mean, all animals try to communicate with us at all times, but most people aren't aware of it, or you know, they pick up on their animal messages, but they don't realize it's actually coming from that animal. But I feel with you, group one, that you have got such a strong connection to your animal that you could actually do something with this. You know, you could work with animals if you wanted to. That's what I'm picking up for you. I get the message with this sleeping card here that you love to spend a lot of relaxation time with your animal, and it may be that they sleep with you on or in your bed or in your bedroom at least, and you enjoy a lot of snuggle time. This religion and spirituality card, I'm getting the message here that your animal companion is very much a guide for you, and they put a lot of like guidance into your mind for you to pick up on. I feel as though they've got an energy of a guide almost, and it may be that for some of you at least, that they have been a guide for you in other lifetimes. And for some of you, your animal companion might actually be a guide for you in this lifetime. I have that with Snowflake, where his soul is my guardian angel's soul. So I've got a very, very close bond with that animal. So that could be the case for some of you, but for most of you, I feel that your animal has got this guide-like energy, and so that they, as a soul, they're very highly evolved. They're a very highly evolved soul, and that they will, in an indirect way, help you to learn things on a really deep level. Especially, I feel that your animal might be responsible for or have guided you onto a spiritual path. They might have helped you without you being aware of that. And I feel that with this fighting card, I'm getting the message that some of you might have some relationships in your life, especially from the past, that haven't been any fun, possibly with family or at least other close bonds in your life, you know, whether it's family or friends or spouse. I feel like you've had a lot of disruptive relationships, and that's part of the reason why you kind of prefer to spend more time with animals than people. So the with regards to your animal's life purpose, their purpose in your life, and how they are mirroring you, I feel as though there could be times when you see your animal companion needing time alone or needing time to rest and be on their own if they're going through some stuff to do with their own inner healing journey. And it could be that some of them, maybe not all of you listening, but there might be some of you listening that where the animal has got a deep kind of chronic health imbalance that has come from trauma from this lifetime or a past lifetime, and that might be quite relevant to you as well. So they go through these phases of needing a lot of rest, especially if they have a flare up of a health problem where they like to go off on their own and sleep a lot and spend some time alone. And I feel that that might even be relevant for you. I am getting the words in my mind to do with the immune system, like autoimmune disorders where the immune system flares up and attacks the body. And I feel that there is a strong sensitivity for both you and your animal. It might be that one or both of you have got sensitivities or intolerances or allergies, something along those lines that affect the immune system. And that if you or your animal have had vaccinations, there might have been some very intense reactions to those, or they might have led to health problems further down the line. So when your animal companion is going through these phases of reacting to things or needing to be on their own or needing to sleep a lot or having a flare up of something, that is helping you to understand how to help them, and in turn that then helps you to help yourself, whether you're aware of that or not. I feel that your animal has been a great source of love and comfort for you when you've been through some very difficult times. I mean, often from my experience, I've seen that a lot of really traumatized people are the ones they almost always, well, not always, but a lot of the time they have animal companions, because the animals are here to help us to heal on a really deep level. And so quite often very traumatized people will have an animal companion at their side that is helping them to heal by bringing in this deep source of love and joy and comfort and like lots of snuggle time, you know, where, like, for example, Snowflake, he's going through a really bad time at the moment, but that little cat is so full of love. He purrs so easily, his fur is extremely soft, and he's so lovely to cuddle. And so right now he mirrors me 100%, including with health imbalances. So he's helping me, he's teaching me all about health on a much deeper level, because I've worked in holistic health for a long time, and I've used holistic health on myself for years and years and years. But I'm over this last year with going into animal communication, I'm actually moving into holistic healthcare for animals more and more, where I didn't have the confidence to do that before, and I'm doing that more. And he's helping me with that, because I've been spending days researching things that will help him, which ultimately will also help me. So I feel that there is an element of that with you, Group 1, where your animal is helping you in that way. And as I say, some of you might really resonate with the idea of helping animals in some way, maybe in a similar way to what I'm doing. You know, you might choose to do that one way or even volunteer. Let's get some more cards. I'm going to get some of the smaller decks now. This feels like I am getting the impression that some of you have found it really hard to trust people. That one's jumped out. And your animal companion has been really easy to trust. They trust you, you trust them. You know that they won't let you down. You know that they'll always be there for you, for as long as they live anyway. They'll be by your side, helping you. So I feel that, yeah, you might... Oh, goodness me, Group 1, I've just had a massive coughing fit. There is something in my throat chakra that wants to come out, and I feel that this is very relevant for this reading. So I feel as though, excuse me, as though you have something to say. There's something that you need to say to someone. this might not be relevant to your animal companion, but for this to come up in the reading, oh, it's clearing now. Now that I've spoken it, goodness me, that's a clairsentient psychic ability. You know, you take on the energy in your body sometimes. And if I'm around someone that's got a really blocked throat chakra, it can have that impact. And as I'm speaking about it now, it's clearing the energy. So I feel for you, Group 1, that you have got something that you need to say to someone, or you've got something on your mind that you want to say, but you might have been holding back. So that's just an additional message. So take it if it resonates for you. We've got 14, the fox. Queen, I can't remember if I was going to say something earlier that when I got interrupted by my coffee, so sorry about that if I got cut off and I haven't finished what I was saying. I'm sure it will come back in if it's relevant. We've got the Queen of Spades, determined and resilient. 8 of Scissors, and I like to watch the world go by. Okay. Let's tune into the energy now. We have got 2 number 14s, haven't we? So you've got that number 5 energy there, and you've got 2 13s as well. No, actually, sorry, that's my mistake. That's a 12, the Queen. So you've got 12, 13 and 14, which is quite interesting in the reading. So the number 14 is the 5 energy. Number 14 is also the number that relates to the key, and that's about finding solutions. So if this relates to your animal companion and your health imbalances, it's that's kind of good news that you're going to find some kind of solution in relation to that. That's an additional message. But the number 5 energy is about change. So I feel that for this group, you are going to go through some quite significant change in your life. I feel that it is very much to do with health and like holistic health and holistic remedies, where your animal companion will help you with this. I think I was talking about that with Snowflake because Toby had an eye problem last year, which is what got me into homeopathy for animals, and I'm taking an animal course for homeopathy at the moment. And with Snowflake recently, I've really got really interested in animal kinesiology, and I might do a course in that. And I feel that this could be relevant for a few of you in this group, where you might be exploring those things at some point. They might come in for you. But this, especially, with this number 5 energy, because that's about change. So I feel that there is this energy of you changing your mind and beliefs about certain things as time goes by. It might have already happened to you. It depends where you are on your path, so take it if it resonates for you. And with the Fox card being underneath the Affinity card, this is a message about some of the people in your life. They really don't have your best interests at heart, and I feel that this relates to the past mainly, which links in with what I was talking about you trusting animals and your animal companion more than you trust people. And there's nothing wrong with that. You will hear some people will say, because I've had it said to me more than once, that you need people in your life. You can't exist without people. But I actually don't agree, because I have such a deep connection with animals. They bring me something so different and unique and very special to humans. And because I've got such a strong connection to them and I can communicate with them, it's like they're like people to me. They are my family, and they're almost like children to me. So I think everybody is different, and you need to honor what is right for you and not just follow along with what other people think is right for you, So I feel that there is this additional message here about you really looking for the right people for yourself, to find those people for you. And your animal companion in an indirect way is helping you with that, because I feel that they're helping you to come out of your shell. Because with this Queen of Spades here, the beetle on here, they've got a very hard shell. So I feel that is, and the beetle is often relates to past lives and reincarnation. So I feel that there is, for most of you listening, you have incarnated with your animal companion before, not necessarily always with them as your animal. They might have been a human companion, but I feel as though you've got this close bond together where you know each other deeply, where you're very close in the spiritual realm, and where you've got some things that you are both working through together in this lifetime that have come from past lifetimes. And as I say, with this hard shell, I feel that you might have developed from difficult connections in the past, I feel that your animal companion is helping to soften that, and because you've got a soft center, Group 1, haven't you? And so your animal companion is bringing that out of you and helping you to show that to the world again and to be vulnerable again. With this Scissors card here, this ties in so well with this Beetle card and the Fox card, actually, because the scissors can harm or help. And I feel that, as I mentioned, I think that your animal companion could be mirroring you with trauma. They might have had a traumatic past, as you have had a traumatic past. Take that if it resonates. It might not be for all of you, but I feel it could definitely be for some of you, where you might have cut ties with some people. And it could, I'm also getting the message for some of you, your animal companion was taken away very abruptly from their mother, and that could be, for some of them, some of you listening, that could be part of their trauma, where they were taken away either too early or very suddenly due to the environment that they were in, and they might suffer with separation anxiety, possibly, especially with that coming under the spirituality card. You know, I mean, animals sense spirit all around them all the time. That they're different to us in that way. They sense spirit, but as an animal, when they're taken away from their mother, that can traumatize them, especially if they're not ready. Just because there's a minimum age that animals can leave the mother, it doesn't mean that they should leave them at that age. And I feel that might have affected some of the animal companions that are for Group 1. So you are helping your animal heal with that, Group 1, as well. With this card here, I like to watch the world go by. I feel that this is like both of you. I think that you, Group 1, could be a people watcher, and your animal is probably very much the same. It's like you mirror each other in that way, and you're quite happy to sit still and be quiet and to observe than to be quite noisy and active all the time. I feel for you, Group 1, most of you could resonate more with the energy of human being rather than a human doing. You know, a lot of people are in this doing energy, but I feel for you, Group 1, you might have been at one point, but I feel now you are more of a being, more of a human being, where you've slowed down. And I think that your animal companion has helped you to do that, because I'm sensing that, because they've got this very highly evolved intelligence about them, and I'm also picking up this sense of peace with them as well, and I feel that has influenced you in a really positive way. I'm going to get one of these animal message cards just as a final message for you, for me to finish the reading off with. We'll have that one. I don't feel well today, but I'll be okay. Yeah, I was talking about that, wasn't I? Possibly to do with autoimmune disorders. So they're telling you, even if they are suffering at the moment, they're going to be okay. That they want you to know that, because if you're worrying about them, as I am worrying a lot about Snowflake, even though that I know deeply he's going to be okay, but it doesn't stop the worry, does it, Group 1? But your animal companion just wants you to know that if they're going through one of those phases right now, that they are going to be okay. All right, so I really hope you've enjoyed that reading. Thanks for listening, my lovelies. Hello, Group 2. Thank you for joining me in this reading. I'm going to turn those cards over first. These are yours, 10, Rebirth and Decisions. And let's get a few more now. Okay, we'll get one from the butterfly deck. We've got Join In. And I'm going to get another one from this deck. We've got number 5, Change. Okay, let's get some of these smaller cards. I'm noticing that there are creatures on each of those cards that all have wings. We've got the robin there, the butterflies in the middle, and the dragonflies there. So the wings are to do with this energy of taking flight and freedom. Also, wings can also connect with spirit as well. We've got 14, the fox. That's interesting. That card came out in the same position in the last reading. How fascinating is that? What are the chances? So we've got King of Spades, Warrior and Intelligent. And you know what? In the last reading, there was the Queen of Spades there. It's funny because I was talking about change in the last reading as well, and I am picking up some similar energies. So if you were drawn to number 1 as well, there might be some messages in both readings for you. So we've got 31 flat tire, and we'll get one of these as well. So we've got the 4 and the 5 energies. Again, we had the 4 and 5s in the last reading as well. Very interesting. So some of you might be listening to both of these readings. So some of the messages aren't going to resonate with all of you, you know, so take what resonates, leave anything that doesn't. So there we've got, I'd love to hang out with you. Can you see that? Okie dokie. So with the rebirth and the change card there, I feel that at the moment, group 2, you are going through some kind of transformation. And I feel that there could be something very relevant going on with your animal at the moment where they might be going through some kind of transformation. I'm picking up some different energies here. It might be that some of them are going through, you know, I mean, all animals have life cycles, don't they? Like, kittens and puppies to adolescence and then to adulthood and then into like the senior years and then geriatric. So I'm picking up the message for most of you that you are going through something similar, like either you or your animal companion, or maybe even both of you are going through some kind of an age transition, you know, where you're going in like from one age cycle to another age cycle. I'm picking that up for a lot of you listening, but if it doesn't resonate, don't take it, because the other energy of change and rebirth here is about some big change coming in. So I feel for some of you this could actually relate to moving house, and I'm picking up that it might be that you've moved recently, or that you're thinking of moving, but you might have been worrying about how your animal companion was going to take it or has taken it, how it's affecting them. But I'm getting a message from them. They're just saying, don't worry, because what you go through with these big life changes, they've also agreed to them with you, and they want you to know that, you know, they are anything that you feel is right for you and you really want to do. Your animal companion is just saying, don't worry about me, I'm okay with that, because they're going to go with you wherever you go. I do feel that with this decisions card, I feel like you group 2 might have a hard time with making decisions, and with you being group 2, the number 2 is this energy of 2 paths. And it can often, when it's at the negative end of the energy, it can cause doubt and hesitation. And I feel like your animal companion is very much like that as well, you know, where they might be a little timid or shy or show anxiety or fear or insecurity, or they might have separation anxiety. All of those things can relate to the number 2 energy. And I feel that that could be quite relevant. Some or all of those characteristics are reflected within you, and that's how your animal companion is mirroring you. So when you see them like that, or if you've been wanting to do something to help them, remember that they're mirroring you. So to help them, you can actually treat yourself as well as helping them. You know, whatever you give them, you can give to yourself if there's a human and animal equivalent. For example, I sometimes give Snowflake the same flower essences as I take, because he is my 100% mirror, and because his health is suffering at the moment with his immune system due to major stress, that's something that I get. So I've ordered supplements that I would take, and I've, you know, making sure that obviously that they're okay for cats to take, and then I'm giving them to him, and I'm going to take them as well, so that because the stress that he's been through recently has partly been because I've been getting stressed, but it's things that we've had to do. And the whole thing has just been one big major stress for all me and the cats. But Snowflake is the one that is very anxious and fearful and timid. And so he's the one that's having the immune system reaction. So, you know, I've done a lot of research into this in the past myself because of my health imbalances in the past. So I know a lot about it already. And I feel that this could certainly be relevant for some of you, especially if you're thinking of making a house move, because that is a big thing that can cause a lot of stress and anxiety. So make sure, group 2, that you are getting the holistic support that you need for yourself and your animal companion. You know, there are all kinds of things that you can get for that are natural for anxiety and stress and to help to balance the immune system, whereas the pharmaceutical drugs will suppress it or accelerate it. The natural remedies will help it to balance. Even if some of them I've read somewhere, they often say that they boost the immune system, but most of the time, if it's a natural remedy, it's not that it's boosting it, it's actually harmonizing it. So if it's sluggish, it balances it and picks it up, but if it's overactive, it balances it and calms it down. Okay, so bear that in mind. So yeah, if I am getting a message to one or two of you that if you have been thinking of going to the vet recently, you've been feeling very unsure and doubtful about it, and your animal companion is saying, listen to your gut, listen to your intuition, because sometimes the animals don't want to go to the vets because the vets can't give them the right thing that the animal actually needs. So pay attention to any random ideas that come into your mind about things that might actually help your animal. With Snowflake recently, I've spent days researching things that would help him, and I can always tell when I find something that I know is going to be the right thing, because I get this very strong emotional reaction, or all of a sudden my body feels all warm and tingly. I get such a positive reaction, and then when I find something that seems like it might be the right thing but it doesn't feel like it's the right thing, I always listen to that. And even if I do end up getting it, it's very quick that I realize it's not working, and so I have to leave it alone. So bear that in mind, group 2, and listen to your intuition and trust your gut feelings. With this join in card, I am getting the message that it's definitely in relation to moving house, where some of you, when you go into a new area, you are going to want to join in with the community, and it might be that I'm getting the message that your animal companion is also that for some of them, I am picking up that they actually feel a little bit alone or lonely, either depending on what type of animal they are. They're either missing their own kind, or they want to spend more time with you, because we've got this card here, I'd love to hang out with you. So I'm not picking this up for everybody, but for some of them, they are wanting more time either with you or with animals that are similar to them, especially if they are an animal, the only animal in the household. So bear that in mind. I mean, for cats and dogs, most of them actually they like animal company, even though you'll see cats being very standoffish and very territorial and like that with other cats. As long as you introduce them to each other properly, cats love being around other cats, and dogs, most of them like other dogs. Neutering the animals can have an impact on how they react to other animals. So that's something to bear in mind. And it might be that one or two of you are thinking about that at the moment, and your animal companion is asking you to think a lot about it before you go ahead with it. Because I get the feeling that they're not going along with it, but they might let you know intuitively through picking up a message, because they'll be communicating telepathically with you. So where we've got the fox here underneath the rebirth card, I'm getting very drawn to the orange energy that we're seeing there, which connects with the sacral chakra. So I'm feeling that this is to do with like a sensitivity in this area for both you and your animal companion. Especially with you, group 2, if you've got this energy of doubt and hesitation and maybe not trusting yourself enough, this could be like come around the gut area anyway. And I feel that it might affect your sacral chakra area. So if there are any gut issues with you or your animal companion, remember the mirroring thing that goes on between you and your animal. And in helping them, you can help yourself at the same time, or as you're helping yourself, you can also help them. So if this is relevant, sometimes we don't pick up that animals have got gut issues until it's too late, because they're very good at hiding things. But please do really bear that in mind, and really pay attention to your animal and what you're feeding them, because cats and dogs thrive on the species appropriate diets, which are the raw food diets. They thrive on those. Anything else usually ends up giving health problems as they get older, and some of them are very sensitive to the commercial pet food, and they end up with very sore bellies that eventually leads to some terrible gut problems. So bear that in mind, and that could be very relevant for you too, group 2, where you're very sensitive to certain foods, and you might even not realize it. If you suffer with any kind of gut discomfort, whether it's bloating or indigestion or anything like that, IBS kind of symptoms, anything like that, have a look at your diet, have a look at your stress levels, and incorporate healthy ways to make changes, because you've got this change card here, haven't you? With this King of Spades card here, this is underneath the decisions card here, and I'm getting a message from your animal companion saying, please don't worry, you won't make a wrong decision. Please make up your mind. I feel as though you are deliberating with something at the moment, group 2, and your animal companion is just saying, please make your mind up. You already know what you want to do. You already know in your heart. Be strong, be like a king energy. Oops, I made the camera wobble then. Sorry about that. I hope it didn't give you motion sickness there, group 2. Funny that I should mention sickness, isn't it? Motion sickness, because that connects to the gut with what I was just talking about, doesn't it? Some of you might even have motion sickness, or your animal might have. The fact that I've mentioned that, it must be relevant in this reading. And it might even be that some of you have vertigo, you know, because that relates to motion sickness as well. So back to the King of Spades here. I feel that your animal is saying to you, you are a very wise and intelligent soul, and you know what you want to do, group 2. You do deliberate a lot, and your animal companion is saying that they are helping you to make decisions by planting messages into your mind. They do communicate with you often when they see you struggling to make decisions about things. It's like they talk to you telepathically, but you might be picking it up as the thoughts that come in your own voice, so you might not be aware that it's actually them communicating with you. So be very aware of that, because the king, the spades energy here very much relates to the mind energy in this playing card deck. So I feel that there could be something to do with the mind, or even the head energy, where some of you might get headaches, tension headaches, stress headaches, migraines, that kind of thing. Or it might be that your animal companion sometimes has a bad head. I've certainly picked that up off the cats occasionally when I've gone to snuggle them, and then I suddenly get this pain in my head. And, you know, it's not something I thought that animals would ever get, would be headaches, but I'm sure they do, because they've got a head and they've got a brain. So I'm sure that they suffer in those areas at some time, but we wouldn't really know about it. And we might just see them feeling very tired and looking a bit down because they've got a bad head, and we won't know, you know. So be very aware of that. And if you're feeling like that, group 2, be aware that you might be picking up on your animal, or if it might be that you're mirroring each other, where one of you has got the headache and the other one is picking up on it. So you might not know which way round it is, but I feel that, you know, with you being so closely linked, you can help each other, and you can, you know, go for the natural remedies. The animals tend to, most of the time, want the natural remedies. I've been treating Snowflake recently with some steroid cream from the vets, and he's told me repeatedly he does not want it. And I've been desperate with his symptoms, to be perfectly honest, but I've only used it a few times, and I've got my herbs in and my natural supplements in now. So hopefully that's going to do the job that we need to be done. So with this 31 flat tire card here, especially with it being underneath the join-in card, I'm getting a message here from your animal companion, group 2, that you've been feeling pretty low, fed up, bored, listless, tired, unmotivated, you know, recently. And it might be that your animal companion has been showing some similar signs. Maybe they've just not had much get up and go recently. But I feel that if that's the case, they're actually mirroring you. They're coming out in that with their symptoms in sympathy to you. So be aware how you're affecting them. And, you know, if you're feeling like that and you see your animal companion acting like that, don't think that necessarily that there's something wrong with them. It's because they're mirroring you. So bear that in mind, group 2. They just wanted me to say that to you. And they're also saying to you, get out there, join some groups, meet people, do some things that you're going to enjoy, do the things that will bring fun into your life. And especially if you resonate with the moving house that I mentioned earlier in the reading, you know, when you go to a new area, it's always good to get out and about, to get to know the area and to meet the locals as well, so you don't feel so alone when you move, if you're moving on your own especially. And this card at the end here, I'd love to hang out with you. Yeah, I feel that your animal companion wants a little bit more time with you. I think I might have, did I mention that at the beginning? I might have done. But yeah, I feel like they do want a little bit more time with you. But I'm getting the message that they are asking you, when you are with them, to be present when you are with them. Because I feel like there's this message coming in that you might get up in your head a little bit too much, group 2, at times. And even though you're with your animal companion and you might even be cuddling them and snuggling them and talking to them, but your animal is saying your mind is elsewhere, and they are asking you to be more aware of that and to practice being more present, be more in the moment, because the animals live in the moment and they pick up on our thoughts, feelings and emotions when we are elsewhere in our minds and in our emotional bodies. They pick up on that so strongly. And so your animal is just showing some care and concern for you, group 2, and asking you to do something that will help you to be more present. Okay, let's just get one more card from the Animal Messages deck for a final message for you. I need clean water. Okay, so that's a message that comes up quite often, because a lot of us don't change the water regularly enough for our animal companions. You know, every time that they sip out of a bowl, they're leaving behind their saliva and the bacteria in their saliva, which multiplies very, very quickly. There are things that you can add to the water to help to cleanse it naturally, like the bentonite clay, activated charcoal. I've got amethyst crystals in the water bowl for the cats. There are various other things, shungites, things like that, natural things that you can put in the water. So yeah, change the water more often. But because they're also just letting me know now about the cleansing energy of water for you, group 2, because we are mostly water, and they're just reminding you to drink more water. Okay, so I really hope that you found that reading useful, group 2. Thank you so much for listening. Hello, group 3. Thank you for joining me. Let's get your cards. We've got 41, Illumination, number 6, Travel. I'm going to get a few more. Get one from the Cat Oracle deck here. We'll have that one there. We've got number 6, Ruling. Look at that. You've got 2 6s in the middle there together. We'll get one of these cards. And number 12, Dogs. Oh, that's interesting. So we've got a cat and a dog showing up in this reading, haven't we? Let's get some of these smaller cards. 31, the Sun. I love that underneath the Illumination card, because that is light, isn't it? Very much to do with the energy of light. Goodness me. We've got number 3 of cards, 3 of clubs, group teamwork. 21 coins, so you've got 2 3s there and another 3 there, 12. So you've got 3 3s and 2 6s in the reading. You've also got 3, 4, 5, 6 as well. Nice progression of numbers there. I'm going to get one of these. Please don't feel guilty. Everything is okay. Right. I'm picking up on an energy in the household where there's something to do with some domineering behavior going on in the household at the moment, whether it's to do with another animal companion or a human in the house. It might even be you, group 3, where you're maybe needing to train. You might be training your animal, or it could be that you're going through a phase in your life where you are becoming more assertive and you're gaining more of your inner power. But I'm definitely picking up on this domineering energy. Take what resonates for you. If it's with another animal, it could be that one of the other, there's an animal domineering another animal that you might not be aware of what's actually going on. So if that's the case in your household, pay close attention to the behaviours of the animals, because sometimes it's not obvious to pick that up. If there's an animal trying to dominate another one, they can do it quite subtly at times. I do feel that that's relevant for some of you, and you might even be aware of it actually. But your animal companion is just saying, don't worry about that with this, don't feel guilty, everything is okay. This is something that they have agreed to at the soul level with this other animal, and this is something that they're working out with the other animal, but it's part of your purpose as well to help to mediate and bring this mediation energy, because in a situation like that, you do need to assert yourself to a certain degree where you're the one that's the human guardian and needing to take certain action and put boundaries in place, or maybe like barriers in place, like closing a door on one of the animals, that kind of, so take what resonates, because I feel it's a very strong like energy coming through of this like assertiveness or domination, where there's an energy of it that needs to be balanced. That's what I'm picking up. So I'm sure you'll understand what relates to you, group 3, and just leave behind any of that doesn't resonate with you, because we've got this ruling card here, haven't we, and this dogs card, because that can relate to obedience, and with the lead and the collar as well, especially with this guy image on the card, that can relate to to this dominating energy that I'm picking up. So let's have a look here. I'm getting the message from these cards here on the left that your animal companion may not necessarily a current one, but certainly one that you've had in the past, for some of you at least, has been there with you through some very, very difficult times. With this illumination card, you see on the card it's very dark in the background. It's like you've been through some very dark times, and your animal companion has helped you to get through those dark times just by being there for you. And that was their purpose. Whether this is a past or a present animal, that was the biggest soul contract that they had with you, where they were often by your side. They seem to know when you needed a hug. They know, when you need them around. It's like they sense very strongly what you're going through, and so they were a big source of comfort for you, and they helped you to find the light, because the animal companion brings so much unconditional love. That in itself helps us to heal, and like a cat's purr is one of the most healing sounds in the world. If I'm feeling off, I go up to one of my cats, because they all purr. Well, Toby purrs differently to the other two, but Lily and Snowflake both purr instantly, and all I have to do is put my head on the belly and listen to that sound, and it really kind of helps me to center myself, and to calm down and to feel okay. And it's just this wonderful, warm feeling of love. And I'm sure that dogs and other animal companions do things as well that are kind of on a par with the cat purring, where there's something that they will do, like dogs often lick you, don't they? Or they'll just come and sit next to you and lean against you, or they'll lean against your leg. It's like they're saying to you, I am here for you. I know what you're going through. I can feel it, They pick up on your thoughts, on your emotions. And it's like, whether this is an animal past or present, they have been like some kind of therapy animal for you, like an emotional support, helping you through some really, really difficult times. And I feel that with the sun coming out underneath that card, it's like, I feel like you've got through the worst of that, group 3. That's the message that I'm picking up. So for some of you, it may be that this animal that I've been describing here has gone because they served their purpose with you. They fulfilled that contract with you. And this happened to me with my last cat, Maggie. She was with me through some really, really dark times. And when I got to the point where I was coming out of those dark times, she started to decline, and then I needed to take care of her. She'd been taking care of me all those years, you know, and it was my turn to look after her until she left. So I feel that could certainly be relevant for some of you, you know. It's like the animal came in as this wonderful source of light and love and joy for you. It might be that they're still here, and that they're coming towards the end of their life, or they've got a few years left. But I feel that if they are coming towards the end of their life, that gives you the opportunity then to give back to them as they get older. It's like after they've taken care of you. With this travel card and the group teamwork card underneath, I feel that you and your animal companion are very close in the spirit realm, and you often go off on adventures together when you're not incarnated in the earth experience. You know, you have some time out together, you have fun together, you go off exploring other universes or other realities or whatever is out there. You know, we can't really know for sure, can we? So I feel that you just go off on these adventures together as two souls that incarnate quite often. I feel that you've both incarnated in other types of realities a lot, not just here. You know, you feel like, certainly with you, group 3, you feel like some of you especially could be a traveller soul, and your animal companion is also a traveller soul. So it might be that your animal companion does not like to be confined. It could be that and especially when I was talking about if there's some domineering behavior going on in the house, they might be reacting to that, you know, especially if another animal is trying to confine them, because that can happen, can't it? They might react badly to that, because I feel like your animal is a sort of energy that wants to be free, wants to explore, doesn't like being told what to do. So if you are needing to discipline your animal, that might not be going too well, but you can meet them at their level. It's about learning how to interact with them in a way that's going to be good for them and for you. But I feel that, I'm picking up this very strongly with this group, that you have got this very strong bond outside of the earth experience where you do things together. You're definitely in the same soul family and are soulmates, because animal souls are the same as human souls. So you don't necessarily incarnate as human and animal all the time. You know, you might both incarnate as animals or creatures, other types of creatures, or you might incarnate as beings, both the same type of beings, you know, so it can vary, and you like to have fun together. So I feel that you might have that sometimes in this lifetime, in this reality, where your animal companion has been or will do move around with you, go off on adventures with you. If you've got a dog, they might like to go everywhere with you, you know, and not to be left at home, because they don't like that. They want to be with you, they want to go out with you, they want to go traveling with you, on holiday with you, you know. So that's kind of how that mirroring behavior is going on there. Especially if you like to travel, they want to come with you. This can even be the case for cats as well, and other types of animals. It just depends on the animal that you've got, but some of them do like to travel, some of them don't want to be away from their human guardian, and I feel that's very relevant, certainly for some of you listening to this reading. I'm picking up this message from your animal companion with these two cards here, number 6 ruling and 21 coins, where there is something to do with how you have turned around, or you are still turning around, your negative thinking or negative beliefs that have been restricting you, where I mentioned about your animal companion they don't like being confined. And what I'm seeing in that mirroring with you is that you have often put confined thoughts and beliefs in your mind that have stopped you from doing things. And what I'm seeing here is you stepping into your power. Your animal is helping you by bringing in this energy of freedom they're helping you to break out of your own confinement, to step into your power, to do your thing, to be courageous, and to appreciate the good in life as a way to reprogram your mind away from the negative. Because I feel that I spoke about the dark times here, haven't I, group 3? And I feel that this could be something that you may be working on now, still working on, is reprogramming your mind, and your animal has been helping you with that to help you to break out of the confinement. So it might be that you've had a lot of rules, or you've always followed the letter of the law down to the full stop, you know, and you've been very regimented or very disciplined or very strict, that kind of energy, or you've grown up with that. And so now, as life is going by, your animal companion is helping you to break free of that and to become more free and to free yourself from your own fears and insecurities. They are helping you to do that by helping you to be more aware and grateful for the blessings that you've got in life, and being thankful and seeing the little miracles that are in every day. They're helping you to see that, to notice that more, and to have that energy more, so because that will help you to break free. With this, I've spoken briefly about this already with the dogs card and the please don't feel guilty, everything is okay, because I do feel like there is some kind of conflict energy or domineering energy. But I'm also picking up this message here with this little mouse here, or rat, sorry, that if you are needing to instill some kind of discipline or boundaries or guidelines in the house that might relate to an animal companion, they're just saying it's okay. It's okay. Don't feel bad about that. It's okay. This is part of what you're going through and part of what you need to do. Maybe some of you need to make a decision that involves your animal that you're feeling bad about, and they're just saying it's okay. Or maybe you've made a decision recently, something to do with them, and they're saying it's okay. Maybe a few of you, I'm picking up now, that there might be something that you agreed to that relates to your animal, and you are now feeling bad about it or guilty about it. If it's anything related to the vets, and you're thinking, why did I do that? Why did I take them? Or why did I agree to that? Your animal is just saying, it's okay. Please don't feel guilty. Because that experience and how you're feeling about that, if this relates to you, if it's relevant, is all part of the contract that you've got, where your animal is helping you to step into your power, where you no longer go along with things and agree with things that you actually don't really want to agree with. So this is part of a learning experience for you. Okay, group 3, I'm going to get one more card from this Animal Messages deck to finish the reading off with. So we've got, I need more exercise. Yeah, this relates well to what I've been talking about this energy of freedom, and movement here, and taking flight and breaking out of the confinement. This is very much a strong influence here, where there are these two polar energies here. One is confinement and one is needing to be free. So I feel that this is a big part of your life purpose together with your animal companion, where there is something very much connected with breaking out of the confinement. That's what they're helping you with. They might have had a life in the past before you, if you've gotten from a shelter where they were very confined, and then they might even have got to the point where they were then afraid of open spaces, because that can happen with animals, because if they've been confined a lot, they get used to being confined, and it takes them a while to get used to open spaces. Or it could be that they have developed anxiety or nervousness about being confined because they were confined in the past. You know, every animal reacts to things in their own way. So take what resonates for you, and in you helping your animal companion through this, however this is relevant for you, that is helping you as well to break out of your own confinements and to feel comfortable with yourself no matter where you are or what you're doing. So I really hope that you found that reading useful, group 3. Thank you so much for listening.